opened my eyes with torchlight of knowledge. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Srila Prabhupada is such a divine personality that when we examine all his efforts to benefit the whole humanity throughout the nations, and his faith was geared on simple instructions of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. When he was initiated, his godbrothers, everybody knew him because he was, even without initiation, he was helping them in preaching mission of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. They would want that he should take up some services in Gaudiya Math. And Bhaktisiddhanta would reply, he will do in due course of time, you do not have to advise. This bond was simply realized by execution of order of the spiritual master. And Prabhupada is so simply giving that if I have any credit in establishing this worldwide movement, it's only that I'm trying to execute the order of my spiritual master. He told me, if you have money, print books. But simply printing books, yes, if you print books, what will you do with it? Automatically everything started falling in place. Srila Prabhupada, during his lifetime of active preaching of Krishna consciousness, starting from New York in 1965, in 11-12 years of short span till 1977, he circumambulated the whole world 14 times and establishing centers. Wherever he would put his foot, center will spring up. Fiji is a very vivid example of that. You will say, Srila Prabhupada said, if I have any credit, that is only if I have money, print books. But the books created such a revolt in the psyche of all humanity that even without personally meeting Srila Prabhupada, reading about him, reading about the spiritual potency that people feel in such personality to follow, and the following of the followers is also becoming so potent that it's like a contagious disease that simply by coming in contact with Krishna consciousness, people get inoculated. They will never forget. Because somehow or another, if you examine, everybody wants to go back home to Godhead. In any religion, the entire target is there. But there is no proper education. Apani acharite sikhailo bhagavata. One must become exemplary to teach others. That is an old principle. How would you teach? Say no smoking, but if the teacher is smoking, you can't teach. It becomes completely hypocrite. Srila Prabhupada was so simple, so simple. His simplicity can touch anybody's heart. But at the same time, he was so high in spiritual emancipation that people cannot meet these two ends. They have to accept without questioning. And Srila Prabhupada presented Krishna conscious philosophy very straightforward, without any mutation, deviation, misinterpretation. Right. So, if you see the credit of following a religion, any religion, Prabhupada would not emphasize the belief systems. We can make better Christian, we can make better Muslim, we can make better Hindus. What is lacking? That has to be taught systematically. And the entire program is educational program. Education, without education, nothing will be practiced. The career, as I always say, in other education center ends up in stomach. But this career of Krishna consciousness will take us to the heights of our eternity, where eternal, blissful, and fully knowledgeable existence of the philosophy of Atman is. Everybody accepts that. But Prabhupada was one to show. And in the face of this 11-year span, the Encyclopedia Britannica of 1978, Prabhupada left the body, exclaims that he started the literary world by producing during this time. Not only that, he taught more than 5,000 disciples the art of living in spiritual way, mitigating all the four problems of life: birth, death, old age, and disease. So, for that purpose, how the education program also started along with establishment of the temples. Every temple Prabhupada created is an educational unit. We are not simply here to ring the bell and fulfilling the desires of everybody just like that. No. Learn something and advance in the higher purposes of our life. Because who knows, you will come back in this human form of life again. So Prabhupada was very much concerned. He had concept and practically experience of the personality of Godhead. And he emphasized that this has to be educated. He struggled very hard in New York in 1965 after his arrival, and we know the history. But he had only firm faith in the order of his Guru, which could not be separated from him at any time, in any trials and tribulations. He always felt the presence of his Guru and his order. So the mission was set, and Prabhupada at the fair end of his days was able to thank Lord Shri Krishna to empower him. So his god brothers accepted the empowerment. That such an empowerment is not easy to come by unless and until one has unflinching faith in the words of Guru and Krishna. Only he can shine up. Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasya hi kathita hi prakashante mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada quotes, and we have to understand by practical example. How do you want to go back home, back to God? Do you have a path? Oh, many paths are there. But how can be a path realized and be practically applied? We are blinded by ignorance. And Prabhupada would tell the story of finding Nilmadhav. Viswavasu, an aborigine who was worshipping Nilmadhav. Somehow or other, Vidyapati, the secretary, wanted to find out because he was on a mission. So he was blindfolded. But trickily, he got some mustard seeds in his pocket. So, in blindfolded, he threw mustard seeds. And in due course of time, they all grew. So it choked out the path where Nilmadhav was. So, in the same way, Prabhupada threw the mustard seeds wherever he went, 14 times to go and putting the seeds everywhere. And these seeds are growing. This is a big mustard tree. Not only plant, but a tree. And so many yellow flowers are here. I would like to thank His Excellency Vimal Prasad to bless this occasion. And I pray that mercy of Srila Prabhupada is also before